I'm Thomas, and today you join me behind the wheel of the 2024 Tesla Model 3 dual motor long range. A special thanks to Tesla UK for loaning me this vehicle for the week to kind of review and bring to you guys this video from a Glaswegian perspective, I guess. As you could expect in the Scottish summer, we have had lovely grey skies, about highs of 12 and it was 13 today, and it's been raining, so it's been really great to try and film this car. And apologies in advance if I sound a little bit nasally. Now, so let's start with the aesthetics from the front of the car. You're going to notice sleeker headlights. You're going to notice there's no fog lights now on the Tesla Model 3, so you've got a sleeker front bumper, and the drag coefficient is dropped with a combination of some of the tweaks they've done, so it's now the most aerodynamic Tesla available as of June 2024. This has got 0.219, I believe is the correct drag coefficient. For anybody interested, 0 to 60 in this Tesla Model 3 dual motor is 4.2 seconds. There is a performance version if you want sub 3 seconds, but I think this dual motor is going to be perfectly adequate for most people, because everything I'm passing at Volks, I've got a DS5, a Corsa, none of those cars are going to be doing anything with those kind of speeds. You could expect over 330 miles of real world range, which is great. The car does also encompass new rear tail lights, which are now one piece, so there's no kind of weird split. Gives you a unique kind of look, especially when the tailgate lifts up. It now comes up with the tail light, and now there's the kind of repeater lights just to blow it in the bumper. I know that's regulation, but that's just a little thing you might notice. The boot itself is very cavernous, and I'll overlay some images of that. The rear of the car, what you're going to notice in the back seat, is no humps. If you've never been in an EV before, there's no transmission hump. Cars, ground up EVs, have got so spacious considering the packaging. And this car also has that 8-inch touchscreen back there, which is new for the 2024 model year. So what does that mean? It means the rear passengers can be entertained by games, they can watch Netflix, YouTube, they can change the direction of airflow, they can turn on the heated seats, all that functionality's through there. And I had a neighbour's child in the back seat of this car the other day, and he was wowed by it. So they're a Tesla Model Y family, and they really liked what this car had to offer. Throughout the cabin, you're going to be greeted with kind of this plush interior. They've got the kind of suede material on the doors. The top of the door covers are kind of this texturized vinyl, which is new for the Tesla Model 3 Highland. And the mood lighting, that seems to be quite a big thing that's capturing people's attention on the internet. I've posted a few pictures of this on various social media, and people are commenting on the mood lighting. And you're going to see it here in the door card, but literally it's like almost infinite colours. Like you can change it to anything you want at a touch of a button, like so. So that's quite cool. As being a kind of technology company, everything is dominated through the front screen in this car, which I'll touch on now. It does take a little bit getting used to, because, well, I think it took me about 10 minutes to get used to, because Tesla Model 3 has not got a gear selector in the traditional sense of like a column shift or anything down here. It's all through the touchscreen. Same as indicators, they've gone the route of Ferrari in having it now on the steering wheel itself, so you've got little buttons where there's haptic feedback, turn left and right. I think I timed myself, it took me about 8 minutes to get used to that, so I think if you're going to consider getting this car, I really wouldn't worry about it. If Ferrari drivers can get used to it, you can get used to it with Tesla. I won't go into the whole screen on this video, but it's a very good system with the kind of autopilot. It's got driver, fully driver capable kind of, the program is ready for that, like self-driving almost. It can read traffic signs, traffic lights, stop signs, speed lines. It tells you if there's cones on the road, people, even if the car in front's braking or indicating in a particular direction. And it's got the capability, if you indicate, to move lanes. So if I do like indicate to the right, it's going to come up on the screen here and just pull me across like so. So that's quite cool. I moved in, and it turns off the indicator as well. So it's a really clever system. I haven't experienced anything like that before, so really impressed by that piece of technology. Of course, it's a Tesla, so it does things like the light show. We can do fart noises, whatever you want it to be. You know, you can have a little bit of fun in the car. Sketch pad, there's a romance pad as well, with a little kind of fire going on the place. I do like the fact that Spotify is like a nice big easy button and you can scroll through whatever you want to play music wise, and this car does have the premium sound system, so it's 17 speakers with the 2 subwoofers in the back, so it's got quite a good sound system. Really impressed by that. What else to say about the car? Well, I'm just going to indicate left here, let the car pull in. It's going to be an edge. Here we go. Perfect. We've managed to get ourselves back in to another lane, which is... I thought that was quite cool. I'm quite impressed by that turning left and right. I can only imagine the programming sensors behind that. That's really impressive. Cooled seats as well is new for this car, so the aircon system is really great, and like I mentioned for the rear, in the front you're able to replicate where you exactly want it to kind of direct the airflow all through the touchscreen again. I'm going to pull out again, get fun, get used to this. We're pulling out, there's a few Panda coming out here. Perfect. So yeah, we've got heated and cooled seats. You can leave them in auto mode, just a little bit like what we've seen with the Lexus videos previously. Leave it in auto, the car can decide what's happening. For the purpose of today, I've got it on cool just to test it, but it does do a good job of cooling the seats. Now, I've also been told by Tesla this car is quieter on the road than the outgoing model, and it handles better as well. It does have acoustic glass, which you can see on the side, and I believe the rear as well. I'm also wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you the new Tesla 3 also has blind spot. It's got little red LEDs in the tweeters up in the door up there, so if somebody's in your blind spot there, you're going to see a little red light up here. So when you're out on the road, you do feel it's really agile. Like, I'm really impressed by the way the car drives. One thing I want to mention is the turning circle is fantastic in this car. It's really tight. Oh, Sierra Cosworth. It's really tight, and you can place the car, because the way the fenders are designed, I can place the car really easily. It's worth noting this car doesn't have parking sensors in the traditional sense of the ultrasonic little kind of circles on your bumper that give you beep beep beep. It uses cameras and a heat map, and it does give you a little bit of noise as well, just to let you know if you're approaching something, it'll compensate stop. But I do think that's an interesting piece of technology, because the car has kind of moved away from traditional parking sensors, which I think came out in the late 90s with the S-Class. So I'm cruising along on the motorway in this Tesla Model 3. I have got the autopilot on. I've got the wee little rainbow road, it's doing its indicator, and it's doing a good job of keeping me in the lane. And I think if you're doing a long journey, this is going to do a fantastic job of keeping you, kind of relaxed, and just, if you just without having to deal with the stress of people cutting me off, like in a Valley Group van, pull in and do 36 miles per hour from outside lane into the inside when I'm doing 50. Like, the car just slowed down and managed to kind of control and compose itself. Now we're going to move, it's red, the lines. Here we go, like so. Now, if you're somebody that does a lot of miles, then I would definitely get the long range. Charging at home is on a 7 kilowatt hour charger. It's about 11 hours from zero or empty, but I guess with an electric car, you're never going to have that truly at zero. And it's also worth noting that Tesla do have the supercharger network, which I know other cars can start to use now, but it's just nice having that behind you in the support, because I'm not aware of any other brands that have got their own dedicated charger network. So hats off to Tesla for that. If you can appreciate being a kind of tech company and tech cars, there is more things coming. Like, I have seen on their website some of these updates are providing to the car. They're letting you see what's coming. So for example, a recent update was the blind spot for cars without the little blind spot lights. It gives you a little red line on the camera that pops up when you're indicating. So overall, I'm very impressed with the Tesla Model 3. It has had some great updates to the car that make it stand out from the predecessor inside. And I think if you have got a previous Model 3 and you're on the verge of, do you want to buy another one, or you're looking at something else, it's worth at least going to the showroom, getting a test drive, sitting in it and seeing what you think. Because if you're a Tesla person and you love the technology, then this is just the next level up. I said the main takeaway is the cooled seats are lovely to have. The mood lighting adds a little bit of ambience at night time, and the premium materials inside the cabin, you know, if that bothered you in the previous model, then you might appreciate it. It's definitely, you know, considering the car's under £40,000 list for the base model, I think it looks great, and I love this kind of glass roof, and I've had comments on that as well. My only little gripe is I feel like this has been said in other videos as well, is like, unlike the Tesla Y that's got a lift gate, this has got a little small boot hatch to get into. The boot is very cavernous and huge, but I just wish that glass lifted up, you know, just like a Ford Mondale or whatever it may be. It just feels like a missed opportunity there. However, we are where we are, and that's literally probably my only gripe in terms of the short-term time I've had with this car. It's got a great front trunk as well, a fruit if you want to call that, a front boot where you're able, it's because it's lined with plastic, you can put wellies in there, dog leads, whatever it may be. So that is another kind of aspect to Tesla ownership that you might think you're getting the benefit there of having two boots in the car, as well as all the cavernous space inside. Now, I'm not going to be talking about long-term reliability or anything in this video, like the rest of my videos, because I don't have the car for that long. I'm here to tell you what the car's like, my perspective, and driving it around Glasgow. And just while I'm on the M8 right now, it's reading road signs, it's doing that job well. We're sitting here at 50 on the M8 with the 50 mile per hour forever roadworks, and yeah, all in all, it's a really fantastic car. I would definitely consider it if you're looking for an EV. It's on your company car list. Go check it out. And I like the new colours, like this grey is really nice. I like the kind of stealth grey. It is a £2,000 option. I know the white's free, and that's probably why you see loads of white ones. This is also riding on the Nova 19-inch rims, which are £1,500 extra. But do you know what? If you've got the money, you can do it. Spec it up because it's your car, you'll enjoy it. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. You made it this far. Comment below your thoughts on the Tesla Model 3, and I will see you next video.